One of the most common questions we get into our help system at Quest is how can I share my materials with another instructor, or how can another instructor share their materials with me? So let's walk through that process. Not too terribly difficult, but it does involve a little bit of work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a class, have a class somewhere, and let's say I am the instructor for a class and I want to share the materials with you. So I'm going to go into my class that I want to share my materials with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to authorize an instructor. So over on the left menu bar, there's a place to authorize instructors, and I can type in someone else's instructor credentials. So if I wanted to type in my credentials, I go in, and then I would select from this list of things that I can, how much I want to allow this person to have a role in it. So there are two different ones that I would suggest using. The importer role is a great one to use, and this will give your instructors the ability to import material into a new class from this one. Sometimes I think this one should be labeled exporter. You can export the material from this class into your own. It's a pretty good one. It does not allow that person to see any grades, so you don't have to worry about any FERPA violations, but it's a nice role. The other roles that I would suggest are additional primary, or secondary instructor. All three of them are going to have relatively the same credentials. It will allow the instructor you gave access to be able to see everything in that class. They can go in, make edits, they can go in and see grades. So you always want to be a little bit careful with giving out any of the primary or secondary instructor roles. Once you do this, you can hit Authorized Instructor. It'll ask you, have you gone through FERPA training? You click OK, and now this instructor is now authorized in the class. So I just authorized myself to be in this class. Now the reason why I said that second way, there's a very common practice that happens in Quest. When you have a group of instructors all teaching, say, coordinated classes or want to share their materials, I know at the University of Texas, some of the chemistry classes, some of the physics classes are taught using the exact same materials to keep consistent across all of the sections. So what they actually do, and the reason why I said you want to use potentially the additional primary or the secondary instructor roles, is that you can create a class, a dummy class, if you will, or just some master class where you can put all of your materials in, and then you can share those materials with everyone else. So everybody, all the instructors have access to the master class. There are no students in that master class. And then each instructor has their own classes after the fact. So they would have their own real classes. So maybe you have a first hour class, I have a third hour class. So that's two classes. You have yours, I have mine. But we would share a common master class at our school. And that way we could build all of our assignments in this master class, and then we just copy the assignments using the new assignment button. And you can use the templates. So you'd use the template from one of these master classes. For instance, this semester, which is the spring 2015, one of the projects I'm working on has 3 master classes for it. So if I wanted to give myself, I've given myself access to this master class, and I can select the assignments that I want to choose from in that master class. So it's a very common practice to create one master class and then have individual classes that actually have the students in, and then you use the templates to copy from them. If your master class is fully completed, instead of using the template to create each individual assignment, you can actually save yourself a lot of time and do the new course, and when you use the new course, you can use the template in that way. So a couple different ways. The master class acts like any other class, so all the stuff that I just said about being able to copy assignments using templates or from the when you do the course creation still apply if you were given access to someone else's real class and not their shared masterclass that doesn't have students. But I really like that second one where you use an extra masterclass. It makes life a whole lot easier, and it's just safer in case you screw something up. It's not with real students. There is the downside that if you make a change there, it does make it across all of it, which in some aspects is actually a plus. So hopefully this will help give you some idea of different ways to share materials across class. One thing Quest does not do is that we will not give you access to an instructor's class. That's their material, what they put in for their assignments. So if you want to get access to someone else's class, you have to ask them directly. It's not something that Quest will be able to help you out with. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned some stuff, and as always, feel free to ask us questions.